Hello, my friends. Hello, and welcome to this Les Fox Friday on a Sunday. This happens periodically, and I'm going to get into that in a few minutes. Um, because it's called Les Fox Friday, because I think that just has a nice ring to it. Les Fox Sunday, Les Fox Tuesday, Les Fox pick a day. This doesn't land as well. And I I'm going to get into it. I just wanted to say before I get into it that a dear friend and mentor of mine has told me more than once, it's never too late. So I'm getting into it. A couple weeks ago, I came in here and talked about how I was afraid I had lost my mojo because it had been a while since I had done a Les Fox Friday and blah, 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 blah. Last week, I didn't even show up. I talked myself out of it because, Friday's come and gone, and now it's Saturday afternoon, and then it's Sunday, and then it's Tuesday, and well, it'll be Friday again soon. I'll just wait until it comes back around. And as I said, a dear friend of mine, and a mentor has said to me more than once, it's never too late. The calendar doesn't stop me. The platform doesn't stop me. Who stops me? I stop me. With the stories I tell myself, with the ways I choose to spend my time, even when my mouth is saying, I'm going to do blah, this can make all the mouth noises it wants. What matters is that we use our vessels, our bodies, to take the aligned action, right? I could say every day for the next week, yep, I'm going to do a Les Fox Friday on Friday. I'm going to make sure I do a Les Fox Friday so that I can get it out next Friday. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure I blah. I'm going to da 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 da. Blah, blah, blah. And personally, I'm at the point where I'm just about sick enough of my own bullshit that I'm either going to stop talking or I'm just going to do all the things. And because I'm a work in progress, I am practicing doing a thing consistently rather than doing all of the things or none of the things, because those two extremes exist. And that's where my binary brain tends to go. In between these two spots, there's so much nuance. There's so much flexibility. There's so much adaptability. There's so much opportunity. So for today's Les Fox Friday on a Sunday, I am calling myself out. I am sharing this experience, wondering if you have ever had something similar happen. And before I pull the card, I want to say to you that if this kind of discussion and this kind of inquiry appeals to you, I would love to sit down with you and pull some cards. You can opt for a free 3-card reading with me by going to my bio link and clicking the button that says a free 3-card reading. Simple as that. It'll bring you to a calendar. You pick the time and date that work best for you. You and I sit across from each other virtually. We pull some cards. I tell you what I see, and I also ask you what you see because that's what matters more. It's your reading. So if that appeals to you and you would like to have that experience, you know where to go and you know what to do. Go to the bio, click the link, find a time. Let's find out what's in the cards for you. Now, since I've called myself out, since I've got the Zesty Rebel deck, I am dying of curiosity. Let's see what comes up today. Nope, Not that. There it is. There it is. At least it's not upside down. Get some foxing support. You cannot do all of this shiz yourself. Ask for help. This is a perfect example of what I was just sharing, that my mouth makes all the noises, but my self, my capital S self, does not take the aligned action. I will talk to people all day long about the importance of help and support. I will sit across from you and say, we're not meant to do this alone. It's not how our brains are wired. It's not how we have evolved over all this time. We thrive in communities that support us. We don't always thrive in communities. We thrive in communities which offer us support, which offer us empathy, which offer us recognition, which offer us an opportunity to feel seen, heard, believed, supported, even if the people holding the space for us don't agree. And this is something that I talk to my boys about, and I talk to a lot of people about. We can offer support while disagreeing. We can say to those we love, I am team you. I support you. I don't always agree. I don't agree with this stance that you're holding right now. And I support your right to hold it. You and I don't see eye to eye on this. And I support you. Again, easy to say. Sometimes pretty foxy and uncomfortable to practice. So regarding this, like all or nothing, this binary stance, this talking myself out of things, this, it's not that big a deal. How do I ask for support around that? Well, I'm fortunate enough to have a business consultant who sees me, who gets me, and who doesn't take any of my bullshit. Who listens to my stories and smiles at me with love in her eyes and says, that's a really good story. How is that protecting you? Excuse me? My stories are true. I can't even say that with a straight face. Conversely, I have also looked friends in the face, dear friends, and said, I love you enough that I am going to say this hard thing. I am going to say this thing that I feel uncomfortable saying and that I think you're going to be uncomfortable hearing. That's how much I love you. When we have unwavering support from someone, anyone, it lifts us in our darkest times. It buoys us up, not boy, but buoy, buoys us up, lifts us up in the deepest waters. And it doesn't always or often look the way we think it's going to look. I've turned to people that I thought were going to cheer me on and champion me without hesitation, who have not been those people. If you in the past have trusted somebody and it turned out that they weren't the person, I get it. That's a hard lesson to learn. That can be very, very, very disheartening because it causes us to doubt ourselves. When we have our own unwavering support, it's not that we don't doubt ourselves, it's that we know who we are. And when we know who we are, when we know what we want, when we know how we want to show up, when we know what's most important to us, we will bring ourselves through the aligned action. Not necessarily with comfort, but with simplicity, with ease, with minimal mind chatter. Even and especially when the action is an action that we don't want to take. I have another dear friend, a former client, who stunned me by telling me that she periodically will say out loud to divinity, universe, source, whatever you call it, whatever is not here for me right now, please take it. Here's how badass she is. She did this in a relationship, like a relationship that she had been yearning for, one that she kept hoping would come back around and come back around, and maybe this time it would stick. And it started to look like that after years and years of hoping and waiting and wishing. It started to look like it was finally going to come around again, and this time it was going to stick. And she was right in the middle of it, and she was over the moon, and it was glorious and all these things. And I was so excited for her. And when it fell apart in an absolutely it couldn't have been clearer. It couldn't have been more gutting. It couldn't have been more of a surprise. And at the same time, not a surprise at all, right? Just like Icarus flying too close to the sun and falling. And she was devastated. And she said to me, I said, "What happened, honey?" And she said, "I asked the universe to take away whatever isn't meant for me." She said to the universe, "Take away what's not meant for me." And it removed this relationship that she had convinced herself she wanted. That's not for her. That is unwavering support of self. That is trusting yourself so deeply that you are willing to surrender anything. Because the ego will say, well, this time will be different. This time I'm going to blah. This time I won't allow such. This time I will make sure blah, 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 blah. Where's the action? Where's the aligned action? Where's the patterned, familiar, comfortable action? Are they the same? Her aligned action was not what was going on. And as much as she wished that it was and hoped that it was, she trusted herself and the universe enough to ask, and everything was pulled away like that. And we cannot do this by ourselves. She leans on people who support her deeply, who see her, who know her, who hold the mirror for her. And she has learned to do that for herself. That's a gift. It's a gift to herself. It's a gift to everyone she knows, because she's crystal clear on who she is, how she wants to show up, what's most important to her, and she takes aligned action. She doesn't hesitate. It's a practice, and it requires practice. And she has also learned to reach out to people that she trusts and say, what am I missing? I can't believe this is happening. This is, because we all need some voxing support. We're not wired to live life in isolation. We've been fed a story of rugged individualism over the generations, and it's not true. We thrive in the communities that support us, that have our backs, that teach us and remind us what it feels like to be accepted, supported, loved unconditionally, whatever that community looks like for you. Even one lifeline can be the difference. One friend, one connection, one person that you can reach out to and say, hey, I could use a friendly voice. I could use a funny joke. I could use a virtual hug. That's one of the beauties of the internet. As much as I don't like a lot of what happens on the internet in general, there are some glimmers of beauty and hope and connection that have changed who I am. And I hope you have the same. Anyway, get some foxing support. You can't do all this shiz yourself. Ask for help. Truly, ask for help. The first time it can feel really difficult, just take a deep breath and just say, help. Please help. You can say it with your eyes closed. You can say it with your eyes open. When we ask for help, we give people the opportunity to rise up. We give people the opportunity to be their best selves. And we give ourselves the opportunity to practice surrender, to practice connection, to practice self-trust, knowing I can ask this person for help and this person will rise to the occasion to the best of their ability. And through that, we learn over time how to have our own backs and how to offer that to the people around us, to our beloveds. That's how we pay it forward. And that's why I believe that love wins. Even in these dark days of winter, even in the struggles people are facing, and yes, there are struggles of all kinds. Heartbreaking struggles, challenging struggles, personal struggles, intimate struggles. We never know what somebody else is going through. Sometimes we can offer the support. And if the other person doesn't take it, can't take it, won't take it, that's not about us. That's just wherever they are. We can't convince or persuade anybody to take our help. Sometimes then what we can do is support ourselves and just keep offering another time, another place, another person. Support, foxing support. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As always, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm glad I said yes to myself because I was wavering even today. Our brains are so silly. They're amazing, and they're also silly. So, until we see each other again next time, if you would love to pull some cards with me, I've already talked about it. I won't say it again, but I would love to pull cards with you. In the meantime, until we see each other again, however that is, please take the very best care.